I'm Shafiq Qureshi. Today I would like to talk about uh, speaking in IELTS. The IELTS speaking is lasted for 11 to 15 minutes. You see that in 11 to 15 minutes you can secure 9 bands. So there are three different parts in IELTS speaking. The first part is they would ask some personal questions from you, and these questions could be pertaining to your hometown, your job, your studies, your home, your likes and dislikes, uh, internet, about the weather, about your different activities, about food, about games. So they will talk about the questions from these things. The most important thing in IELTS speaking is that if the examiner asks you the question, you will not stop answering the question unless the examiner asks you another question. For example, examiner asks you the question where you live or where you come from, and you say that I came from Gulberg, and you stop speaking further. Although your answer is absolutely correct, it's absolutely right. But if you stop speaking, this would become negative. You will not stop speaking. You will keep on speaking unless the examiner asks you another question. But when the examiner asks you another question, you will immediately stop and listen to another question. For instance, I was just quoting the example where you come from. If you say, I came from Gulberg, and Gulberg is a very posh area. It has a lot of markets and restaurants and institutions. Okay, this is how you have to keep on speaking. You will not stop. You will not stop speaking unless the examiner asks you another question. This part would be would go for 4 to 5 minutes, and then this part is followed by another part. In the next part, the examiner will give you a topic, and the examiner would also provide you a piece of paper along with the pen. You will be given 1 minute to think about the topic, and you can write down the words or the key points on the piece of paper. And I would rather request you or suggest you to write few words on the piece of paper, and you have to show to the examiner that you are fulfilling all the requirements of the IELTS speaking test. So you can write down few points, and most of the time it happens that in the course of your speaking you might forget few things. So if you have written few words or the few key points, so you you will not find the problem of forgetting about something. So for example, there are certain points which you want to mention, and there are certain words which you might mention. Maybe you immediately come across or have in your mind few words, you immediately write them down on a piece of paper. After you have given 1 minute, and after the elapse of 1 minute, now you would be asked to speak on the same topic for 2 minutes continuously. 2 minutes means 2 minutes, and you will not stop before 2 minutes. And even you shouldn't stop even after the elapse of 2 minutes unless the speaker or the examiner asks you to stop speaking. So he would say, thank you very much. So, for example, the topic might be given about the party. Describe any party which you attended. When did you attend the party? Where you attended the party? How many people came to attend the party? Did you do anything in that particular party? So you will be given different points to mention in that in describing that topic. So you can also narrate it, make some narration also. You see that the difference in it, in the description and the narration, is that in the description we remain confined to the actual detail, and in narration we can make use of our imaginations, our sentiments, our emotions, our likes and dislikes. So once the second part of the speaking is finished, the examiner may ask you few questions, maybe one, two, or three questions. It all depends upon the will of the examiner. He or she might ask you one, two, or three questions from the same topic which he or she has given you to speak about.